Didn't want to forget that because I have done that far too often. But all the same, um, questions, suggestions, and any thoughts, ideas. We have roughly about 4.5, 5 minutes to official hard start, and then we're going to hit the ground running. Starting with reminding us where we are so that everyone understands what lay ahead because there is a lot in the offing. Vegas has many names: Sin City, the Oasis, place of lost wages, second chances, and various other epitaphs that go back years. A multiplicity of decades back to when it was nothing more than a spot in the middle of the desert that you did everything you think you could to not get stuck in. Things happen a mile a minute, and then some. Having tech issues, Martha? Can you hear us?
Uh, where I remember we left off was the Garuja planning had turned up at my clinic, which I'm super happy about for my touchstones. Um, and a mysterious man had just burst in, followed by two men in black.
See?
Okay. My question is probably it will be something that's answered in character, but I still wanted to go over that. So we have been making progress towards this. The place to hold it is the biggest thing that we were worried about, which is what we're trying to take care of now. Once we take care of that one way or the other as to having a place to do this, will everything else kind of fall into place since we had been already working on other parts of it? Or is there still like other stuff that we
There are still several facets that hadn't been touched on, but yeah, for the most part, everything is cool runnings as far as that goes. Once you have a place, you can begin assigning staff and getting other things and blase skippy woo. You can build from something versus as it stood, much of nothing being the standard. You didn't have a place. You don't have an idea of is there a theme? What's the security going to be like? It, the ease of travel from the airport, because quite a few will be coming in via the airport simply because it's a status symbol in and of itself. There is a lot of moving pieces that would fall into place with having a place.
Okay, and do we think if this is the place we end up getting, that there's going to be extra like construction needed or alteration to make it suitable for the type of people that we know need to show up?
Yes, there will be that level of interaction because you will need several other facets.
Okay, I guess we can prepare for fancy that maybe have to bankroll some stuff. We should have a good amount like to set aside. So I guess this is what we're doing. But yeah, okay. I just knew that's what I was worried about.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you remember where else you were? What else was actually in the offing?
I think I had just called to do a spray the soul on the guy who was being followed.
We were doing most of this to give ourselves a cement alibi so that we were not tied into other things that happened.
And here's the twist of the blade, as it were. Do you remember or know who it was that had freshly arrived?
Um, it was, if I remember right, Theo, no, Eugene's contact is the person that was running from the two obvious mobsters, but I don't remember what you said that guy's name was. But I know it was Eugene's contact that we were looking for. That was the one that was running away.
Yes, the um, manager, owner, partner of the hotel who had, well, let's to be perfectly honest, had been skimming the books and was overextended through his partner's malfeasance, and now the chickens were coming home to roost. But it is 1 minute past hard start, and I am a little overdue for properly poisoning myself. So I'll give you guys a few moments to mix amongst yourselves, and then we'll come back and hit the ground at full speed because we were literally in the middle of things happening and you all deciding what it is that you're going to do. If you're going to do anything, if you're going to step out of the way, were you going to, double down and make sure that the person is caught, or are you going to make sure that they had the opportunity of getting away? There were a lot of considerations for you all to manage and not very much time. Because despite the immortality of the kindred, time is the one thing that is the thief of always and forever, making their immortalities matter with the ticking of the clock and the shifting of the sands, as it were, granule by granule. So bear with me a quick second, I'll be right back, and then we will get going.
Okay.
Okay. Nancy's intentions were to protect the guy from the guys running towards him, apparently, because he doesn't know why they're trying to hurt him. But the fact that both Eugene and Martha seem to know him means that they should protect him or like stop whatever's going on and maybe talk some sense into people. So that's her primary target is to get the guy to safety. Not necessarily not let them catch him, but just like, hey, what's going on? Maybe we can talk this out. Um, so that they can get access to this place for the Garuja. I don't know whether or not Martha knew that's what they wanted it for, but I think we were just discovering of, oh, hey, you guys are here. Why are you here? And we had just about got to that when all this started happening.
Yeah, I think we had covered the basics of why you were here. We were talking, I was talking with the people who inhabit the clinic earlier that there's a massive financial shortfall right now and we need money to save the clinic.
And then I guess with that, the thing would be um, if we do this and we try to help you guys save the clinic, are you aware that we're going to need this space for this meeting and that there's going to be full of injured, some of them fairly powerful, and they're going to be moving through this space and interacting? Is that going to be a problem with you guys still having a hospital here?
Well, I think we can clear out for a day or two, probably.
And I think, I guess, we haven't gotten to that part yet, but the question is gonna come up. Even with clearing it out, are there people that you are willing to maybe hold for us as possible donors? Kind of, I guess. Like, are there people that you're willing to recommend that we could use or pay to stay and entertain our guests?
I think you're going to have to come up with snacks on your own. I think that might be a next step in planning.
Well, I mean, you don't know till you ask. So if it would be a no, then she'd be like, okay, cool. I guess we'll get back to figuring that out. But yeah, I mean, she wouldn't be mad or anything about it. She's like, oh, okay, I thought I'd ask, since they're already here. But yeah, so that's kind of what the plan is, to protect the guy, see if we can get the mobsters to stop chasing him, maybe intervene, flex a little bit, get them to back off and make a deal if possible. Um, of course, like I said, Fancy's probably going to have to pony up some money uh, to get some things moving. So she is probably going to bankroll this. Uh, if the others can chip in, then that's fine too, but I'm not counting on them.
Yeah.
I still can't believe you said the last one. The lady got the football team, the Raiders. I was like, what? How are we supposed to beat that? I mean, I got Showgirls. That's about it.
Yeah.
The Cats, the Magic, Mike Vegas.
Debating about messaging Anastasia and Eugene, but they're both offline.
Eugene had personal stuff going on today, so I already knew he wasn't coming. I don't know about Anastasia's player. I doubt it. Um, and we know we lost Ryan's player to work. He said he might be able to show up tonight, but again, I don't think so. So it's probably just going to be a.
Yeah.
Just out of different curiosity, I know Martha and Eugene were talking about how to handle Anastasia, maybe putting her on ice for a little bit, possibly. Um, was there an end game with that, or is it just for now? This might be the best bet.
Uh, I went to the premiere, and that was the advice my sire gave me: was put her on ice.
Yeah, yeah, the premiere kind of is a thing right now. I mean, especially with shit going on in other places.
Yeah.
All right, and we're back. Welcome to Lost Wages, Second Chances.
Looking like
And it seems as if Marta will be experiencing technical difficulties for the vast majority. Marta, you okay? Are you having significant technical difficulties?
I don't know what the deal is. I keep dropping out of chat and then popping back in.
usually that's a connection issue or stability issue.
I don't know. Discord's acting up.
Yeah, Discord does be Discord, unfortunately. We're thankful for it and, well, beholden to it, unfortunately. Oh, well, all of our doing long past the don't stage with all of our um pre-game warm-ups out of the way. With everyone understanding where we are and what potentially may lay ahead. With plans, hopes, and dreams foisted upon the stars. I'd like to begin with thank you. It's very important to me that you all understand exactly how much I value your time, your effort, your energies, and the ability to play this hobby of ours in this game that we indulge in. Thank you, and thank you. Also, officially, for all of those in the back who didn't hear us the first time, this is without a shadow of a doubt lost wages and second chances. Tonight's episode is entitled Guede Nibo's Pocket Candies. There's a often tossed off bit of social zeitgeist centering around Ferris Bueller and the line that life comes at you pretty fast sometimes. That's exactly where everyone who exists inside of the demarcated borders of Las Vegas and its outlying suburbs, residential areas, shallowly dug graves understands. Lives are changed by a toss of the dice, a flip of the coin, or a pull of a lever. Fortunes are won and lost in the blink of an eye. You can be on top of the world, dining at the best restaurants from the best chefs, and begging for bus fare to escape the city all within the span of one night. While New York is the city that never sleeps, Las Vegas is the city that only dreams. And those dreams shift and meld and morph and change on a dime. So, as the coterie had found a spate of luck through contacts and allies and resources being put together to establish a foundation for which to build the coming congregation of elder blue bloods, the Garuja. Not simply a monthly Garuja, but the Garuja, the quarter annual Garuja, calling all of the nearby adjacent blue bloods of note, changing and shifting the dignitas of all those who helped plan, secure, or were given the opportunity to attend It is the big to-do for the kindred of the Ventru clan. The ripples of the Garuja change the city. The ripples from the Garuja change the county. Everyone in North Las Vegas, Sunrise, historic West Side, downtown, Centennial, Summerlin, Pecole Ranch, the Lake, Spring Valley, Southwest, Paradise, Whitney, Green Valley, Henderson, and Anthem. All of those areas, all of the kindred who reside within that contiguous area, between or alongside the airports, outside of the golf courses and country clubs, all of their existences change based on the whims and will of the blue blood, starting from the very top with Prince Benedict himself, through the hand of his agent Montrose, down through the militia and across the Primogene Council of Las Vegas. If the Garuja goes well, the Blue Bloods are happy, which means they don't apply pressure to the fields, nor corporations, nor entities, nor any of their influences scrabbling for a better purchase along that ladder to climb up and seize that brass ring, that piece that comes with it. But if it goes bad, and the networks of and alliances need rejiggering, need to be reshuffled. While money never trickles down, trouble always does. Where we are. The fates have shifted. What was a sure thing, what was a slam dunk, what was guaranteed to provide them with the opportunity to put on a great showing seems to be slipping between their fingers. Their Eugene's contact taking off like a dart, followed by men with intentions coming to collect on debts. The whole of it all. Dancing there just outside of their reach. Dancing there just outside of their full controllable grasp. The question beggars itself, what is it, if anything, the coterie is attempting to do to keep fate from once more stealing from them?
Fancy had all intentions of trying to get the guy to safety and intervene so that maybe they can talk about this because she does not want to lose this location. This is the best they have right now, and she doesn't want to lose any further time trying to find somewhere else. So if maybe she can negotiate with them and see if, hey, look, I know he owes you guys money, whatever. Maybe I can help you out, and then that might save him. And so her intention is to get the guy behind her, kind of get in between him and the mobsters, um, so they can talk this out. I think Martha was along the same idea of trying to save the guy.
Yeah, right now I'm gonna do a scry the soul because I want to know what this guy's deal is.
You broke up a little bit. What was that?
I'm gonna do a scry the soul because I want to know what this guy's deal is.
Okay. Several things happening at once, as they always do. Um, even or odd, by the way.
Odd.
Of the dice and see what is it that Eugene is doing. Odd is 100% beneficial to you all. Even, well, perhaps not.
Oh no.
Well, fate is lending a hand. Mm.
You roll this guy's composure plus subterfuge.
Mm.
Did you roll his composure plus subterfuge?
No, I was rolling Eugene's general leanings.
I,
Uh,
I would you? I this Scrytosol is contested.
no, no, it's not contested in this particular moment. Because while it's not something it's not something that's quick. Let's just call it what it is. It's a quick glance, but it's not something that is not a menu of option. So while Martha, as the chaos abounds and everyone's leaping towards a decision, everyone's leaping towards an action. Fancy is throwing up herself bodily between the pursuers and the pursuee, while trying to also corral the pursuee from escaping outside of the building, getting lost and away from them. Eugene is punching some Nazis. Hey, that's my friend! And he's leaping to the floor to do something. In the midst of while Fancy puts herself bodily between them, Eugene leaps forward to throw several punches at the end of his firearms. He's not punching, he's pistol whipping. And Ryan, of course, is attempting to figure out things and make sure that he's as far from the actual violence as possible. He doesn't want to be the victim of another beaten for no reason, after all. He doesn't mind taking a beating for a reason, but there's no reason when there's business that could be handled here. It always is a matter of he always has something. So let me take care of that for you. And he's trying to quick talk his way through things. And while all of that chaos is happening, remember this is a hotel lobby that's used. Yes, it's not one of the better hotels and casinos, but there are still gamers at the machines. All of the twinkling and dazzling lights, the sounds, the bells, the whistles, the from various games going off at once, and the full out foot pursuit. In the midst of this, Marta goes near catatonic. She goes still. That piercing gaze, that raise of a brow, her eyes shifting in spectrum from its natural hues to something it's not quite as natural. Easily overlooked though it is still her applying herself to the realm beyond sight and sound. And she's looking toward a specific target, the pursuee. And she's staring at him in the midst of all of this chaos, trying to get a gauge on The flavor of supernatural is he excited. She's looking at his aura, to put it plainly. She's attempting to suss out, is he alive? Is he dead? Is he some many colored coat in between the two? So there's not any real resistance because his aura is bright and shifting the hues of anger and fear, the outright paranoia, the outright deathly concern with life. It is a many splendored thing, bright and vibrant, pulsing with the shifting, changing emotions as he tries to analyze the chaos that's happening around him. How close to death is he? Let's not get that close. Let's not get this close ever again. There's a lot going on for him. And as a lot is going on for him, Martha is staring, locked in. She has her prey. Oh, to give you more detailed information, there's a lot of orange rippling and waffling through the air and energy around him. His aura held several inches from him, from his body. The brightness of the orange letting you know that's the most direct that he's feeling. There's the crimson slashed through with blazing orange and gray swirls mixing with all of that bright, near sunset colored orange. There's the sickly yellow dripping and oozing through that invisible space about them. There is a strange few pustules of throbbing purple and black things like mushrooms popping up through the aura around him. Light stripes that circle and swirl around the head and the upper shoulder and that's what Martha would see.
Okay.
While that is happening, attempting to mitigate the immediate violence of the pursuers. You will be rolling contestedly. Be so kind as to roll your charisma and either persuasion or, if you are able, your leadership. Your choice, your call, which works best for you. The hope here is that you roll as high as you possibly can because they have every intention of collecting either the value or the pound of flesh. They care very much about neither, hoping for the latter, assuming the first. One way or the other, they're going to be paid. One way or the other, they're going to collect what they came for. One way or the other, this ends tonight.
Will gaslighting help?
You're not gaslighting them. You're trying to get them to stop long enough to make friends, to find what is there another way. You're not hiding your aims. You're not attempting to get them to believe it was their idea all the time to let this little pissant run free.
That's a charisma persuasion, by the way.
I see. Very nicely done. So, in the chaos of the moment, as you have them very nearly. Hey, look, hey, you wouldn't hit a lady. Look, I know that this guy, I don't know what he did exactly, but we are here for him, and you're here for him. We can work something out. Everything's going to be fine. It's going to be the crack of metal on skin should not be that loud, but it is. You're sure that the butt of the pistol dislodged that gentleman's jaw out of its socket. You're hoping that he didn't break the hinge as the guy crumples like a bag, like a puppet with their strings cut. And as the other two begin whirling to respond to Eugene's threat of violence, it is a very bad music video because when it's on, it's on. As you've had them absolutely snookered, providing additional opportunities for Eugene's sneak attack, you realize, well, fuck. What are you guys doing?
Eugene, talk. We were going to talk. What the fuck?
Uh,
And as you begin saying that, Fancy, his responses are short. We can talk once they wake up. And he immediately launches back into, not that he's ever stopped moving, because as that world shattering blow followed, so does the upswing. It's almost as if he had lined him up in his head and he's at home playing himself. There's a combo with the down forward arc of the thumbstick and the ABAB so that he follows through with the combination with a taunt thrown in there. What is it everyone's doing?
Is there an office we can get away to? She asked the guy. We need to get out of here and give some space between you and them so that you're not here when they come too.
So Fancy's action is to talk to the guy. What is Martha doing?
uh, I'm gonna offer my office since it's nearby, I think. Yeah, my office is here if you want to
hideout for a couple of minutes.
Also gotta make sure he doesn't run away. So she's going to grab onto his arm and keep an eye on him.
Okay, everyone, please go ahead and roll your dexterity plus athletics.
If you're difficulty,
Yes, as high as you possibly can.
Lovely.
So, as always, fate lends a hand. You lock arms with the guy, Fancy, and take off. Martha, attempting to lead the way, is slide tackle, which causes you to lose your couth for a second as you snarl, driving your foot stiletto heel forward into the guy who's wrestling Martha to the ground so that he can get to who you are holding from fleeing from your side. Him yelling, screaming about through the kitchen. I was going through the fucking kitchen. We need to get out of the. And you're not concerned so much about that, but this numbnuts, this dark suited member from central casting for every mafia movie that has ever been done is causing you all to be here in the midst of this fucking foolishness as Eugene attempts to follow through with this combination and drop the other two gentlemen back there, only to realize that, well, up close and personal is anybody's fight. And unfortunately for Eugene, the moment where it was his fight was while you had them distracted. So he takes one blow, then the next, and he's taken to the ground as the last standing guy reaches inside his double-breasted shark skin suit and draws the most non-ironically small pistol you have ever seen. It is clearly a derringer. It is clearly a holdout. It is clearly not a over-the-shoulder holster they was reaching into, but instead the breast pocket of his suit coat to retrieve the daintiest, quietest little assassin's gun you could find. enough of the fucking games. He's coming with us, and you all are going to get out of the fucking way so I can make sure that he pays what he fucking owes. I've had enough of this shit.
I wouldn't pull that trigger if I were you. Because you'll be making a fairly decent mistake. I have all intentions of buying this place out. So if you really want the money, just wait. Put the gun away.
Don't fucking tell me what to do. I'm the one with the gun. It is over. This foolishness. Just fucking stop. And he turns his head, yelling at the men subduing Eugene. Fucking stop. Just fucking stop. This is ridiculous. You got the money, give us him, and you get him back if you want him once you turn over the money. Simple. Let's keep this business, shall we?
How much do you need?
There are villain laughs, and then there's whatever escapes him in quick, unbroken. I don't think that you have that much money, but let's work out an installment plan, okay? How much do a debt's a debt. So let's keep this business, shall we? Over. Go collect your funds and I'll tell you if it's enough. Or I just fucking shoot him. We own the insurance. We will get the hotel. You won't. So, what is it gonna be?
How many of these guys are there?
You subduing Eugene, the gentleman with the gun, the guy who you are extricating yourself from now, and you're not sure how many more are mixed and mingled in with the crowd that's playing the games. So far, because of the beep whirls, bings, and bell noises from the gaming station, no one's closing in on your area. You have a few moments. The gentleman that you are holding, Eugene's contact through a contact, is hoping you all don't. But of course, she's also the person that saw trouble coming and decided to try to get the fuck out of Dodge until you guys held him up. So, yeah, he knew his luck was over and done with at that point.
Oh.
How bad of a clusterfuck do I realize this is if we continue the violence of this? Or would it just be easier to force their hand, like keep walking with him, and if they're gonna follow, follow? That's what Nancy's gonna do. She's gonna push it and see what they do. She's not going to hand him over. If he wants to shoot, he's going to have to open fire, and then that's going to get attention on him. If he is going to hold on to him and keep walking towards the office that Martha indicated.
Martha, and what is it that you're doing?
I'm gonna try to get back on my feet and follow her.
Okay. That being the case, would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your manipulation plus intimidation as high as you can? Failure means that the gun goes off.
I mean, she's not super intimidating, but she's trying.
What does fate say? As you make it to your feet, Martha, and despite your sense of self-preservation, the many gunshot wounds, self-inflicted and otherwise, that you've had the opportunity of dealing with over the last few years, despite the knowledge of the tissue damage that the exit wound typically causes, you summon up your bravery and march alongside of Fancy towards the elevator. And as you push the button to move up the elevator, well, get the elevator to your floor and then step into the elevator, you're sure that the pain of a gunshot will be something else you can add to your experiences that you've gained from associating with this coder. And in fact, happen. And neither yourself nor Fancy, the principal, the gentleman that you all are escorting, doesn't meet some pressure you didn't realize you were carrying. Plus, some amount of unmeasured, uneven millions of straws upon your camel's back disappears all at once as they step into the elevator. You're just gonna fucking push your luck, aren't you? Look, nobody wants to fucking kill anybody and catch that rap. But this little fucker owes me money, and you're standing in the way of that. So, how are we gonna settle this without me having to burn this whole place down?
I you still haven't figured out who I am yet. And why it would be fine for me to tell you that I'm going to pay for things. And even like you laughed about thinking I don't have enough money to handle it. Trust me, sweetheart, it'll be handled. Now, like I said, we can do this the nice way. And you can put your gun away, and you will get what you came for. And if it's not enough, then you can still have him. But I need to know that there will be a deal made because I need this location for something else. So you can either work with me or work against me.
You're sticking your nose in and you're working against me. You don't get to take out a loan from the bank without collateral. He's your collateral. The fact that you didn't want your collateral out of your hands lets me know you don't have the money. So this is going to be very, very messy, and I really don't want it to be messy. This is going to be really, really bad.
Is it just me, him, Martha, and the guy in the elevator?
There's two guards. Eugene's on the next elevator along with the other portion of the bodyguards and body men, the thugs that are here to do thuggish things.
I'm having so many bad ideas right now. You know what? Fancy leans over to Martha, dropping her voice just low enough so that it shouldn't go beyond Martha. If I pick him up, you think you can take out the other two?
I think we could make all of you guys forget a lot of things if we tried.
I'm good with that too. How far back does cloud memory go, by the way?
Varies based on moment in time. It's not an entire night, it's a few moments. So the elevator dings and you guys very clumsily manage to work your way out of holding the door. The derringer still in his hand. His guards step back out of the door and motion for you all to lead the way. They're playing along, assuming as if they are still in fact in control of the situation.
guess I'm trying to figure out how best to do what we planned. um, huh. Yeah, I don't know. What happens if she just drinks Fang? I don't know. How far is the office from the elevator?
Not far, but not close.
Where's Ryan, by the way?
You're assuming back on the first floor, or either on the elevator with Eugene.
As we're walking down the hallway towards the office, Fancy is going to kind of like casually turn around, like she's going to say something to him and try to catch his eyes and use mesmerize.
What are you attempting to mesmer him into?
Putting the gun away.
All right, roll your rouse check for me.
It was a success.
Experienced Kindred knows that for every opportunity that the beast helps you, for every time you borrow a fraction of the strength of the beast, there is a running tab that comes due. Feel her beast sink its fangs into her, and she doesn't feel her beast gently throw her out of the driver's seat, and she knows that it will come due. And it's prowling her, hunting her inside her own being. It just hasn't pounced yet. It's luring and lulling her into a false sense of security. While he simply puts his gun away. I guess being I'm not gonna shoot you in the fucking hallway, no reason for me to have this out at all. Don't tell me what to do. No one tells me what to fucking do, okay?
You are correct. It is a simple request, and you are completely in control. Thank you, though.
Now, Martha, are you leading them to your personal little space and living quarters slash office, or are you leading them to one of the other offices that your very loosely defined company operates out of?
I might as well use mine. It's probably more secure.
So as you all get there and Martha unlocks and opens the door, Martha, describe your abode, your space.
It's pretty minimalist. It looks like a dentist waiting room. Lots of gray furniture, lots of chrome. Kind of. It doesn't look like a place somebody really lives. It looks like a place somebody uses as a workspace.
No wonder you're in fucking debt. Clearly, every expense was spared.
Mm.
You sure all of us are going to be able to fit in here while we work this out? I don't want people sitting on my lap. Now, here's the funny thing. As you all enter Martha's space, in yourselves to home, the question as to how Eugene or Ryan are going to find the place or how the other guards are going to find the room, it lightly tiptoes through the non-recesses of your mind. As everyone trundles in and the doors close behind you.
Well, I mean, if they can't, that keeps him from having backup, but it also keeps us from having backup. So that's kind of a problem here. I'm not sure the offices are really soundproof, though, right? If they're not, then they'd probably be able to hear where we are.
I'm kind of thinking it's a positive thing we've lost the others. It kind of means that we don't have to worry about backup. This guy's backup at the moment.
That's what I said. I said he won't have backup, but neither would we.
Yeah.
Settling into the space, taking that there's enough seating arrangements, whether that means sitting on the corner of the table, the desk, or otherwise finding places to gently alight and be wary. So we're here for business, right? So let's get down to it. Let's get this settled. He owes a significant amount. And even with the VIG, with friends and family discount, he owes a significant amount. So much so that we've had to take out insurance on the property and the company And, well, you can imagine how much that pisses us fucking off. And we understand, as unfortunate that it is to go into business with someone who is irresponsible and worse yet, a fucking thief. We still need to take care of business. So what's it going to be? Are we going to make this messy, or you're going to take the big over and begin making those arrangements?
Okay, how about this big? And then we can make arrangements further from there.
I think we both have a lot of resources being thrown around.
Uh, yeah, I'm at resources 3. So, a little shy there. A little shy.
Yeah, I'm also at resources 3, which is theoretically wealthy.
Yes, measurably wealthy. Not really wealthy. Measurably that letter R word. It's the sort of person that is well to do or well heeled, but at the exact same token, you're not gonna, at the drop of a hat, go buy the Daily Planet. So, with the value sitting there before you all, it's the debt that's owed. It goes without saying that the question beggars itself as to what do. There was an arrangement offered. There's an assumption being made. And while you all ponder it, it is 39 after the hour. Let's take a quick 10. Be back here at 49 after.
Sounds good.
Everybody back?
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like a plan. So, sitting in Marlowe's. And here's the funny thing is, I'm not sure that Fancy bothered to connect the ends on this. This is the first portion of Martha that you've actually seen. This is the first deeper portions of Martha than you've actually seen. You've never been in her personal space. You've never been anywhere that was specifically and totally hers. The situation, of course, sucks. There's persons with guns and ill intentions before you. And there's the consideration of debt and how to achieve your goals, dancing foremost in your mind. However, the heart and mind oftentimes disagree. This is one of them. This is the first time where you have seen a portion of Martha that wasn't superficially easy to understand. There's nothing lived in about the space. There's nothing secret about the space, and yet it is, by the simple fact that it exists, is a secret portion of a being you placed your life on the line for and with a multiplicity of attempts and instances before now. And yet, this is the first time where you've been in a space that was solely hers. And likewise, Martha, the fact that you are here with persons with guns, that's not quite out of the ordinary. Many of the associates that work with, for, and through the company oftentimes take steps to arm and protect themselves. And in Las Vegas, that means several things: tasers, guns, knives, batons, hypodermics, and various other things. But this is the first time where you've had a member of the coterie in a space that was not theirs, in a space that was, under every definition that you care to remember, domain, yours. Yeah, the other four individuals are not members of the coterie, but it's very likely that in the grand scheme of things, they won't matter. After all, they are only human. In the grand scheme of things, they are not the divine beings that you kindred are. Yet, fancy very much is. So as a gentleman who seems to be the ringleader for this, who's the spearhead on the antagonistically invested organization, propping himself against the edge of the table. The corner, you sure is pressing against places that corners probably shouldn't, at least not in polite company, and will probably need to be washed down with antiseptic afterwards. But all the same, the matter is there before you both. What is it that you're going to do? What is it that you're going to offer? How are you going to, well, move forward?
Realizing just how big of a debt this guy has gotten himself into, she's going to whistle low and look at him. What the fuck were you thinking? Wow.
Was it me? It was my business partner. It doesn't. I didn't do this, but I assumed the debt because I didn't have a choice. And I, if not for you, I would have been gone. It wouldn't have been an issue.
You don't think they would have kept looking for you and found you and put a
No,
bullet through your skull?
they have insurance on the hotel. All they need is a figurehead to take over. But now, yes, that's right. But now, you're here, we're here, this has to be settled. And, well, it looks as if your new bank won't be able to pay the entirety of your debt, which means, well, they can assume the debt for you, take up your VIG, and you can work it off to help. Or, well, we do have insurance on the place, and if we burn it down, we probably can rebuild and put somebody else here. So, what is it going to be?
Well, fancy aside, if we blood bonded this guy, it would solve all our problems.
In what way?
Well, he'd want to be very helpful to us if he was, our blood-bound servant.
But there's also, you can't get blood from a stone. So, somebody's going to have to pay them back. realize this, right? And somebody, well, they want to burn it down. We don't want them to burn it down because we need this location. And you need this location. So how do we keep them from burning it down while still not taking over his entire debt?
That's what I'm saying. We slip a little blood to the boss man over there, and suddenly he's working for us.
Fine. Which one of us is going to make him our bitch?
Well, you can probably mesmerize him into drinking.
I guess. And she goes up to the guy that had the gun originally. So, if me and Martha here took over some of the debt, but also let you have him, how would that work? Would that work for you?
Do you know that 90% of the property in America is owned by banks or consortiums who get their money from banks? You know that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Mortgages, investment loans, home improvement loans, all establishing the property to be held in trust by the bank for the occupant or the owners, whether that's a person or a company. But this is the thing that's important. Banks fucking hate outright owning property. It's a lose-lose for them because there's a staff that they have to hire to manage. There's the upkeep and the labor, and there's an investment on top of their investment of money that they have to meet out, making it a double bubble for them if they take outright ownership. When they foreclose, when they evict the owner and occupants, it's a pain in the ass. The money for the bank, with owning as much property as it owns, is in leasing it back to the owner, occupant, the dweller at the domain. They take care of the upkeep. They take care of the staffing. They take care of the day-to-day so that the bank gets to deal with what it actually is good at, the managing of other sources of income. I don't want to burn this fucking shithole down. I don't want to outright fucking own this place. No one does. You need, and this is the thing here. We're the fucking bank. We don't want to handle the day-to-day, but we can't partially lease and sublet. That's your, he points to the guy, ability. Our responsibility is the collection and the doling out of money, which we did. So we don't want to own it outright. But someone must own it outright for us to do what we're good at, so that this place can continue doing what it should be doing, which is providing the opportunity for everybody to fucking make money hand over fist. So the question is, do we have a deal or we don't? The in-between thing we don't really do. You say no and it's fine. I'm feeling in a generous mood. We'll let you go. You go on your way. You forget whatever you think you may have seen, and we do what we need to do. Or, or, hear me out. Or like a paddle to hopefully help you guide your boat along this river of shit that you found yourself in. You take over as his partner and assume the debt and the responsibility, and we hold you both accountable, and we make money, you make the initial payment, the VIG, and we go on with business as usual. It's either your way or my way, and your way means that it's not my way, which means, well, fuck that guy. Shouldn't have got in bed with the partners he's gotten in bed with. Shouldn't have been running the fucking homeless service that he'd been running out of the place. Shouldn't have made or let his partner make the bad investments he did, and shouldn't have come to me. Because here's the thing, I don't think you understand. I'm not the fucking bad guy. I'm not evil. Hey? I'm a weapon of God. If he hadn't been a fucknut, if he and his partner hadn't been reprehensible, if he had been a law-abiding, God-loving person and businessman, then his God, my God, wouldn't have allowed me and my business associates to ever meet. I am the judgment of his God, and clearly yours too. Because if you hadn't been as you were, damned as you are, we'd never be having this conversation. But because this is our first time meeting, and well, there's an opportunity for everyone. You can assume his debt. You can help him out. You can show how good you are, and how just you are, and how kind you are, how heroic you are, and save this little asshole. Or not. So what's it gonna be, ladies? Are we going to make the deal? You're going to make the agreement. You're going to assume the debt. We're going to get your particulars. You're going to get our particulars. We're going to trade some money. And we're going to go forward in a beautiful working relationship. I like repeating myself, and I did it twice. Yeah.
Serious friends. It looks like we're business partners. Okay. Yeah. Our party.
All right. Well, I guess we need to get your particulars. Do you have an ID? A passport?
She should have ID. She has a pretty good mask setup. That's how she pays all her bills at the academy. So, gathering that out of her purse and sticking it on the desk.
Hey, well, it looks like we have a deal. You guys have yourselves a hotel casino. No one comes this far out, and doesn't make as much money as the Hilton right across the way there. But you still have it, right? That's what counts.
Yeah.
And not for nothing. I now and he starts taking notes and jotting information down and handing it off. Uh, Forgive me for speaking out of turn, but I want us to have a very strong, a good business relationship. Don't trust that guy. Just for your sake and for your edification, don't trust that guy. You probably need him for the gaming license and might not want to let him out of your sight. But just from me to you, like birds of a feather flock to fucking together. You know what I mean? And if his partner was such a big fuck nut and just did him before he got done, it's just not a. But anyway, now for your middle initial, what's this thing?
I don't remember whether Fancy has a middle name or not. We're just gonna put R, Fancy Renee Fisher.
No, I completely understand. I was just asking, what name was that for?
Yeah, that's my middle name, Renee.
Renee. I had a cousin named Renee. He was an absolute asshole. With French, what are you gonna do? Oh, you're the granddaughter, grandniece, or you just named after the Fisher Dance Academy?
Granddaughter, and named after.
Oh, very, very nice. We have a lot of clients who need loans to pay for the lessons there. Do you teach any of those lessons?
Well, I am the proprietor, so I teach both of those lessons, yes.
That is small world. We were just gonna go see a guy that helps get talent for that place. I'm sure you probably know him. Chubby fellow, really bright red hair. Mr. Kirkwood, the talent agent and acquisitions manager. He took out a loan for a party on wheel, a drivable nightclub, and well, he defaulted on the payment for the vehicle, stating that he never got it back for. Doesn't really matter. Either way, he's up shit creek because he borrowed a significant amount and wasn't able to repay it. So, well, we'll
Oh,
be seeing him
Fancy,
shortly.
Fancy winces slightly because she knows that's her fault.
You okay? Yeah, I know. This is just the poor. You seem to be surrounding yourself with a slew of individuals who make poor fiscal decisions. Is there something I should worry about with you? I don't like violence. My associates, my partners, they don't mind, and I try to come in and mitigate that as much as possible. But unfortunately, there's only so many times I can stick my neck out and not get caught up in the foolishness because it is foolishness. It doesn't take. You pay your bills and do everything you can to minimize them taking advantage of you. That's all you can do. We're Americans, we're consumers, and so we consume, but we have to consume smartly, like anything else.
Mm. Oh no. Obviously, I've been keeping the studio up and running fairly well. We're busy and booked, so I have taken all you have said into account and will be making some changes.
Good for you. Good for you. And no, I know it's normally we're believed to be the bad guys. We're the reason for the moral decay of America and all of that. But no, we're really not. Like, it's just a business. We make the, we do the best that we can. That's just not as easy as or as glamorous as it once was. Collecting because you have to trust people who've never been held accountable for their actions and their decisions. It just gets out of hand. It's just the country's not what it once was. You know? And it's just taking your particulars and
We're
your
clearly
information.
listening for the others in the hallway while we're at this, but she's already like, I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. She recognizes that she's going to have to move some shit around to make this work.
You want to make it work? Do you want to find a body?
Although she's not entirely against, once she gets all this guy's information, making a phone call to Luca.
Now, why would you do that? Martha, while all the information is being exchanged and documents are being taken, and it's not quite as bad as closing for a home, but it definitely is surprisingly how thorough they are. Like, while you guys are sitting out, while he's talking and bullshitting, the you swore larger, dumber member of the party of his group from the access of the phone is doing several deep dives on authenticating who Fancy is. So it's a wonder watching it happen. Because it shows skill that most would never assume they had. Just dumb muscle.
Hank, on the other hand, knows not to underestimate anybody, so it wouldn't surprise her very much that that's what he's doing right now.
So, long story short story even longer, you all make it through the background checks and the verification of who you are so that the debt can be collected if you all try to default. It's faster than the closing for home or any other business that you've been aware of or been involved with, but it is still surprisingly thorough. Once they're done, the level of professionalism that comes across as absolute petty is the entirety of it, because he earnestly thanks you all for your time and gathers his guys. We'll be sending along a welcome to the firm gift as soon as we're able. Let's just verify a few other things, and then we're off to the races. You all have a lovely evening.
And she just smiles and you. It was a pleasure not quite meeting you, but sure we'll be okay. And he watches them leave. And once it's just Nancy, Martha, and their stool pigeons. I guess Nancy is going to begin the first step of blood bonding him and gluing him to herself, so that she knows that they can trust him to not run when their back is turned.
Oh, he definitely will. Oh, he definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, that's the one
why
thing.
she's doing this.
That's the one thing you know you can count on. Yeah, he's out of here soon. As soon as the very moment that he gets the opportunity, he is out the back door and then some.
You gotta make sure that he understands very clearly how you thought they were bad. Sweetheart, don't do what you're thinking of doing. Because I will make your life a living fucking hell. I may be pretty and seem sweet, but I'm a businesswoman. And I will eat you for breakfast. So, like I said, we did this to save your fucking ass. And you are going to stay here and do what we need you to. Yeah?
What do you need me to do? You already know that my partner fucked me and left me to deal with those guys, and now to deal with you. So how much of a use do you think that I might be to you? I'm like, I'm doing my best, here, lady. Look, I've done my best as I could, and it's not been enough. So, yeah, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm okay with light anal play, just not full length penetration. I'm okay with a little beating. A little BDSM has never hurt anybody, and I believe, and quite probably wrongly, but I think that I could take a decent enough beating. I don't like the idea of it, but if it's a beating or death, of course I will take the beating. My accountancy skills are absolutely deplorable. I didn't realize that we were as in debt as we were until too late entirely. And the only reason why I didn't realize it is because, yeah, I was skimming a little bit here and there, throwing an odd party, but I didn't cost the business anything. I didn't overextend us so that, psychos would come looking for me. So I can work it off in body in mind. Though body's probably easier, and you can actually probably get your money's worth. Because I don't know if you realize, but I like kegels aren't just for ladies anymore. You know?
Fancy space. It's just what the fuck? That is the space. No. You said you're good at parties. We need to throw a fairly fancy and upscale party for over 2 to 3 days, and as we will be footing the bill for this, I need somebody that can do the organizational and planning part of the party. That's you.
Um, like it are like they're into the classics. You know, Coke, hookers, drinking, or you want something like upscale, like a wedding. There was actually there's still some stuff from the wedding. They did honest goodness, a Don Ho from some old show called Hawaii 5-0 themed wedding. We got a lot of tiki stuff, like
No,
parties
this
here.
is going to be more Monte Carlo high rollers sort of situation.
So very much the classics, you know, hookers, blow, spending money that you can't afford sort of situation, right?
Or no drugs, though, that I'm aware of. Or actually, just fancy know that some of the Zenshu like
Y-
their meals altered.
Yes, yes, she does.
So then that's what you were telling me. Some drugs, not a lot. Mostly people who like to take drugs are important.
Well, you know, if you can survive a snort, you can hang out with the board. Like there's still some residue in some of the rooms. I can bring those tables down because you know old Coke it goes bad, but it doesn't go bad enough that you know you get anything negative from it. Plus, you know, it just adds to the high, really, when you think about it. Like,
Oh God, we're gonna need to clean this place. And there is going to need to be some construction done. So I'm going to need you to get me some contractors so that we can put plans in place for those things.
yeah, sure thing. I got you. So weed or no weed? Would you like pills or mostly just a little ski powder and some some liquid courage? I know a guy also can get his hands on some Cialis like that I prefer much better than the little blue pills and the blue chew because the blue chews they have a little chalky aftertaste, but Cialis you could break that down, give it a quick snort, and you know you can do up to 8, 9 of those before you start getting pre-epistic.
He looks at Martha like, "What is this? This is what you worked with? You poor thing."
Martha misreads the look. Pietism refers to the penis staying hard for longer than 3 hours.
I
Yeah,
know what
that's
that
why I don't
means.
like the blue chew. That's why I don't like the blue chew. Because you know, you do more than 3 of those and you're gonna be up for at least two, maybe 2.5. And it's just it stops being fun after that first 45 minutes. Then it's work. And we are all doing what we do to escape work. You know what I mean? I don't know anybody, but I usually take the female uh blue because it's a little bit mellower. And it's not just the junk that gets heat. Like all of the kegels that I do, they also help with like the sphincter And so you want that nice and strong because when you're doing what you do, like your butt cheeks, like guys don't talk about this, and I just want to get this off my chest so very much. It's been a very long time since I had the opportunity of talking to anybody about this. But the reason for the kegels is it strengthens those muscles to hold it so that you can just go and go without having to do the red, the pink, or the blue. The yellow's nice, but that's more of a head trip. It gets the head roused. I don't really like that. I just want the mechanics to work, and I think about the emotional aspect of it later. Here's the reason why if I'm gonna do blue, I do the female blue.
The headache has started for Fancy. And now that she has a location, she's going to look into the hallway and see if she can get the others to come in. Going to start making phone calls to now set up staff and what things they need to start getting moving, setting this up as the location of the groove ship.
It shouldn't be as easy as it is. Hence the reason why it's not. One thing leads to the next, which leads to the next, which leads to the next. And for every 2 steps forward, there's about 3 steps back because, well, Las Vegas, despite all of the gratuity, despite the fact that everyone has their hand, their small little bit, because that's how they make their daily bread. It is also a strangely union town. It is very much a social game of if you give a mouse a cookie, and each step leading to the next, you gotta do a favor for this particular group so that you can get this group to do that for you, which leads to this group being able to do this for you, which leads to this group to needing to owe this group, which means you gotta pay this group or work with this group to get that so that they can go back to work for you. It is a clustered rat's nest of interlocked favors and services provided to achieve the goal. And diligent though Hester is, she is just one entity. She's just one singular. And with her name dropping and using what tools are at her service, it is still an uphill slog. Far easier than having guns pointed at you. Far easier than working your way through a death ray of heat and laser-like focus of energy. It's far easier than being trapped or hanging over your head. It is easier than the idea that your studio, which you've worked and labored generations of time to establish, erect, and fill. And Martha, while Fancy is diligently working at the interlocked social networks to get things accomplished, what is it that you're doing?
I'm pretty hungry. I actually probably need to do a little bit of hunting.
Well, the question beggars, are you going to hunt throughout the hotel and casino, or are you going to try to find something elsewhere?
I'm going to try to find somebody who's on the verge of death at the clinic.
You don't even have to roll for that. A lot of your patients are products of the AIDS scare of the early to mid 90s. A lot of your clients and patients gotten involved with drugs, booze, and various other addictions to the point of exhaustion. Not the exhaustion that you can sleep off, at least not the exhaustion you can sleep off temporarily. Finding someone who fits that bill amongst the patients and clients of the And as Martha goes prowling through the halls of the floors that are used for the clinic, checking charts, mortality. And thank you all for a lovely episode. And we'll see you guys next week. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.